Yeah, he had a great run, and it's fun to watch, and they moved the basketball. He was well coached. Uh, I watched them all the time. I think I watched Indiana State and Iowa, Caitlin Clark play about the same last year, so I watched a lot of basketball. But I do a lot of college scouting, and I was hoping one of the Indiana State players would be on the radar, but you never know, they were so young. But
What others were afraid to say, Larry Bird actually said. Without even flinching, he deemed Caitlin Clark superior than Angel Reese. Just the facts, without any sugarcoating or media spin, and you know what? He's not incorrect. Clark is approaching from half court as if it were inconsequential, carrying the entire WNBA on her back while smashing records and stacking triple-doubles. Reese, meantime, is occupied with sharing TikToks and continues to attempt to establish her presence in the discussion.
Caitlin Clark and
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and
I'm a
forth.
fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ of, go to Jamil Hill. Type in Jamil Hill. Yeah. She says, by the time she retires, Jamil Hill has made a bold prediction that Angel Reese will become the MJ of the WNBA by the time she retires. That's what she said. Okay? Let me continue.
After that, Shaq supported Bird after Steph Curry did. Y'all need to stop being petty and give Clark her flowers, even Charles Barkley said. It's hardly even a rivalry at this time. It's a reminder of reality. Perhaps we should all stop acting like this is even close if the legends are all claiming that Caitlin is that one. Stay put. We're dissecting everything. From Bird's harsh reality to Curry's endorsement to the reasons the WNBA has suddenly turned into the Caitlin Clark show, Larry Bird didn't only express an opinion. He revealed something shocking to the world of women's basketball. When the Hall of Famer declared that Caitlin Clark was superior to Angel Reese, he did it without hesitation. Let's be honest. When Larry speaks, people pay attention. No PR gimmicks, just a renowned baller speaking the truth. Bird doesn't give out accolades until they are well-deserved. Therefore, when he publicly crowned Clark, it was a verdict rather than only praise. He likened watching her to watching himself at Indiana State. That is not a trivial matter. That is one of the best sayings ever. Yeah, this kid reminds me of me. You are aware of how impolite it is that Reese was not even mentioned in the discourse at this time. The Bird didn't even recognize her. This year, ESPN's hot take was overshadowed by that silence. Clark's game is self-evident. Pull-up threes with laser-sharp vision from the half-court. Like clockwork, triple-doubles. Here's a question for the fans since she is altering our perception of women's basketball and Bird's perspective on it. Are we really acting as though this is a rivalry when a legend like Larry Bird says this so clearly? Once Larry Bird offered his blessing, the floodgates erupted. The man who transformed basketball with his shooting, Steph Curry, supported Clark like a proud big brother and declared her to be a must-watch on television. He commended her basketball IQ, range, and flair.
There's been a lot of talk about Caitlin Clark being an amazing shooter and just someone we're watching. Have you spoken to her? Do you know her? What do you think?
I've been watching from afar
Yeah.
and understanding just how much of a power she is out there on the court. The cool part is the way that she plays and her range and the level of difficulty on her shots is obviously a very close comparison to the way that I play.
I was going to say Caitlin Clark's been compared to you.
Yeah, but I think it almost robs her of like the rest of her game because she's such a good floor, she has her overall, floor game. She's racking up, close to triple doubles every night, and her shooting ability is, it's her superpower, but the rest of her game is as polished as that, and so it's must-see TV. And I love what it is done for women's basketball in terms of when she shows up, the seats are filled. And
Coming from Steph, which is accurate, that's a gunman identifying another murderer. Then Shaq the Diesel arrived. He openly said that he was a hater at first and didn't trust the hype, but after seeing Clark destroy defenses from the logo, Shaq abruptly changed his mind and referred to her as a game changer. Charles Barkley, a future legend who never held back, criticized the league's pettiness and demanded that the players stop being sour and start giving Clark flowers. "Y'all being petty, she's the one bringing in the money," he remarked bluntly.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA.
Jeff, 3 legends then. A Bird, Barkley, and Curry Shaq singing the same song when the greatest players in history are all riding for one player. Why are some still acting as though she hasn't earned it? They didn't simply mention Clark's name. They supported her as though she was already a Hall of Famer. The thing about Larry Bird is this. He is more concerned with heart hustle toughness than flash. His admiration for Caitlin Clark therefore strikes a different chord. Bird discussed how the best teammates are the ones who work hard every day and keep it genuine during practice. That's a T for Clark. She's diving for loose balls, directing plays, taking responsibility, and not just draining 30-foot threes. She is the type of athlete Bird would have cherished having on the court with her. The most telling aspect is that Bird never once brought up Angel Reese. No backhanded praise. She's also good. Nothing at all that quiet, it reverberated loudly. Because why should we act as though it's a parallel if Bird doesn't see it? Clark isn't attempting to be ostentatious. She is attempting to win, and it is the exact type of energy that legends like. For this reason, she is receiving these nods, not due to publicity but rather to her hard effort. For the fans, here is a true one. Do you admire athletes who speak the loudest or those who simply put their heads down and play well? Let's talk basketball instead than comparing Instagram followers. Reese versus Clark on the hardwood. It isn't even near a floor general is Caitlin Clark. She's not only a shooter, she's also a surgeon who controls tempo and sees plays 2 steps ahead. Her vision is superior. Her decision-making and range are ridiculous. NBA-caliber Angel Reese is a solid defender and rebounder. She is a role player on a losing squad, but she lacks the offensive leadership skills. Her team's relevance stems from Clark. It's not personal. It's simply the facts. Clark has a well-developed game. Reese's game still requires improvement. One appears to be a potential MVP. The others seem to be attempting to establish her beat. To be honest, would the outcomes be the same if both players switched sides at this moment? Hardaway spoke aloud the silent passage. The majority of the jealousy in the locker room is directed towards Caitlin Clark. He brought up the fact that after she was fouled, some teammates refused to even assist her. That's crazy. That is personal behavior and not appropriate for a team. Hardaway referred to it as outright hatred. He claimed that while her teammates are allowing jealousy to consume them, Clark is playing the correct way, enjoying herself and remaining professional. He's also not incorrect. The absurd thing is that Clark isn't even giving them an excuse to be hateful. She isn't speaking negatively. Despite the fact that she is simply having a great time, the atmosphere around her is chilly. That kind of camaraderie isn't enough to win championships, and Hardaway's remarks make it apparent that this is about more than just Reese. It concerns a league that is ill-equipped to deal with a young talent who is rapidly rising to prominence. Here's the question. Should the league mature and embrace its superstar, or should Clark have to compromise herself to please others? Charles Barkley didn't mince words. He spoke out against the league's treatment of Clark and expressed what many fans were thinking. You guys are being petty. He claimed that jealously about Clark's status as the face of women's basketball and the person packing arenas with endorsement deals is the root of the abuse she receives, not her skill. Additionally, many are ignoring her rather than celebrating her. Simply enough, Barkley stated, give her flowers. Because many of these games wouldn't even be broadcast on national television without Clark. The man who formerly fought MJ and Shaq is more interested in the facts than in your feelings. Furthermore, Clark is generating revenue for the WNBA and giving it significance. For you viewers, this is a genuine one, so why the hate? Do you want players that make the league better, or do you want everyone to be modest so that nobody's pride is hurt? Let's face it, The entire Clark versus Reese controversy has been exaggerated, and the media is primarily to blame. It's tiring how every foul, stare down, and post-game handshake has turned into a headline. The drama isn't even being heightened by Clark. The media needs a villain, but she's playing basketball. Thus, they continue to paint this picture as though we were witnessing a soap opera in real life. In actuality, this is about bitterness rather than rivalry, and it is interfering with the game of basketball. The records that Clark broke. Reese continues to learn. That's the tale. Not who on Instagram unfollowed whom. Bill Simmons even stated that. More harm than good is being done by the media. With a scoreboard, they are transforming the league into TMZ rather than creating it. Let's now turn it over to the audience. Who rolled their eyes in the post-game tunnel, or would you rather to hear about actual game statistics? Mr. Shaquille O'Neal, your entire franchise will be dunk on me, said that he didn't think Caitlin Clark's buzz was real. He initially claimed to have dismissed her, thinking perhaps it was simply media hype, but then he saw her hit shot after shot from a logo. Shaq is now Allen. He claimed that even if Curry doesn't try, she is accomplishing stuff. That's crazy. When an NBA champion who has won 4 times says, "You change his mind," it's not a compliment. That is the height of respect, and Shaq has been the greatest. And now he's bringing up Clark in that discussion. It goes beyond the shooting. It's her bravado, swag, and game-controlling style. According to Shaq, it was like witnessing a generational talent show. In order to put an end to this myth once and for all, I had to question Shaq whether he could alter his opinion and why some of these other guys in the league couldn't. Caitlin Clark isn't simply famous because she's marketable. She is well known due to her excellence. Complete halt. More powerful than any highlight reel or social media campaign is this woman's game. It's not about videos that become viral. It has to do with the box score. If you think Caitlin Clark is only big because of TikTok or commercials, you clearly haven't watched her play, stated Stephen A. Smith in response to the controversy. He's absolutely correct. Clark leads the NBA in assists. In her first season, she is already ranked 4th in the MVP voting. That isn't magic in marketing. That is the talent of generations. Indeed, advertising can place your image on a billboard, but it cannot help you get 30 points in front of an antagonistic audience.